My setup was a bit different today because I wanted to stand up because I've been sitting down for like the past 4 days. This is a book that you may or may not have heard of. About I'd say maybe October, November or something last year, I saw a flurry of people on my Goodreads giving this 4 or 5 stars, and I was like, what's that? So I started reading the reviews, all non-spoilery of course, and they were all saying how much they loved the story and the characters, and it was about this girl, a librarian, who goes to this mysterious old English manor that she used to go to as a kid to find out what happened to her missing mother, and the lord of the mansion, or I guess the owner of the mansion, is this really angsty, edgy boy that she used to know as a kid, and there's like tension there. So I thought it was a kind of romantic, kind of edgy YA thing with like mysteries and a cool setting. Now if you've been on this channel for a while, you may remember a video review that I did of a book called Stag, and I hated that book. And what I wanted from that book was Agatha Christie meets like Gossip Girl. That's what it was sold to me as, and it was just not good. So I thought, okay, maybe this book is the kind of edgy, mysterious, kind of thrilling book for like teens that I've been looking for. So I put it on my Christmas list because I'm a baby and I still have a Christmas list. And upon opening it on Christmas morning, with my parents looking at me, I kind of took in the cover, which I'd obviously seen before because I'd seen it on Goodreads, but I guess I just didn't fully clock, you know? And I'm just looking at this cover, I realised this is a bit awkward to open in front of my parents. Never noticed that before. Thought it was kind of weird, didn't think about it. And then a couple of days passed and I decided to take a little flick through, a little glance through, if you will, of the book. And it's porn. I mean, it's not porn, it's erotica, let's use the technical term. But it was very much not what I thought it was, and all of those reviews, you all misled me, and so now I have an erotica book that was purchased for me by my dad because stupidly I just didn't clock. I know it is literally glaring in my face. I did not clock that this was gonna be that. So since I've never read an erotica novel before in my life, and I'm not gonna lie, I never really intended to, I thought it would be fun to document this reading process and do my first ever like reading vlog thing. So I hope you enjoy that. It'll probably be a very long video, so get some snacks, get some tea and snuggle in. So it's finally happening. I'm finally gonna read Lesson in Thorns. I'm a little bit nervous. It's a genre I've never really had much of an interest in, and I don't know quite how explicit it's going to be, although I've had a cursory glance at the Goodreads reviews, and the answer is quite a lot, but I'm curious. And you know what, it's set in a library, it follows a librarian, it has a mystery at the centre. These are all the things that are genuinely up my street, but yeah, I'm a little bit I don't know. I don't really know what to expect, so we'll see. We'll dive in. We'll dive in and just see how it goes. Oh god, I am nowhere near mature enough for this book. So I'm 65 pages in, which I think is a good place to do a little first impression. So the word kink was mentioned on page 19, so it started pretty much right away. The writing style is not usually my kind of thing. I actually realised that this is self-published, not that that makes it bad or anything, but there's probably already like an existing audience for this, so there's less of a need for kind of preamble and setup in the story. So at the beginning there's this scene with kind of kids, I guess they're like 11, 12, on the like cusp of teenhood, and they're playing around these big grounds and they find this secret chapel, and then like 3 of them get married, and then it cuts to 12 years later, and then one of the girls, who was one of the ones that got married, she is invited back to this mysterious chapel, and she's trying to find the secret of what happened to her mother who's been missing, which is kind of an excuse just to see like the hot guy again. but let's be honest, I wasn't surprised. So I'm kind of getting the realization that all of this kind of set up and like the chapel and the library, which I thought was going to be like a main focus of the series, is very much just set dressing, because she gets there and she like promptly forgets about her mum and it's all about this guy and his ass, which, you know, I can respect that. So it's just about like getting used to the style. I'm not really rooting for any of the characters at this point. I'm kind of surprised at how many characters there are. There's 6 main characters, and I can kind of tell where it's going. They're all attractive. There's a lot like tension between all of them, and I can kind of see where it's heading. I don't know if that takes the fun out of it, but we'll see. I mean, obviously, nothing steamy has really happened thus far. There's been a lot of like longing looks and kind of like averted gazes and things like that, you know, a lot of like, but nothing spicy as of yet.
Honey, you've got a big storm coming.
Okay, it is 1:16 a.m. It's the middle of the night, and I'm going to continue A Lesson in Thorns and see how far we get. I'm going to aim to get to 100 pages, just because that's a nice number.
Never could have been thinking I would know what the future bring. All the highs and lows, said I'm gonna win, though the world might spin. Now I'm sitting here like I'm no one. It rains down on me, all the phone calls I'm ignoring. See, I'm a mess, just trying to guess my way through this. Just don't get enough of me. 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 Just don't get enough of me.
Okay, so I'm whispering because it's 3:13 a.m. in the morning, and I have just got to page 146 of A Lesson in Thorns. So, so far, there's been a very eventful, shall we say, eventful game of Spin the Bottle, and a lot of intense moments. So we had a bit of a reveal around like page 80 or something, that the main character, Proserpina, yes, that is her name, and I do feel like I'm having a stroke every time I read it, Proserpina, also known as Poe, so that she is a virgin, and that's why I guess her fantasies are so wild. So there's a lot of like longing, a lot of daydreaming, and then also the main guy that she's kind of obsessed with, Auden, him and his fiance like don't sleep together, so there's like a lot of frustration and build up, and everyone's just on edge all the time. So yeah, it's as I expected, and the kind of mystery that brought everyone together is obviously not important. Who cares, right? Who cares about our missing mum? Nobody. Okay. These are all just beautiful people who want each other. And I'm okay with that. Like, I don't need to expect more from it, but I just need to get used to the fact that, yeah, somehow I thought that because it's set in this library and it's, you know, rose bushes and thorns and mazes and these lavish gardens, that all of the language about like desire and love and like the alluring like magnetism of each other would be very poetic and very metaphorical and like this grand flowery language, and it's not. It's very blunt. The writing style is not really my thing. I'm used to more of like kind of a literary style and more of a metaphorical way of phrasing things, but you know what? It's effective, it's funny, and it's silly, and it's definitely engaging, and I definitely want to see where all these weird characters and their fantasies end up. It's entertaining, I can't deny it. And we'll see where this takes me next. I think it's just too much. I need to stop for tonight. It's a lot of stuff, a lot of characters, a lot of things. So I'm going to stop for tonight, and we'll pick this up another day. Okay, so I'm now on page 256, and I've been reading for a while, and I have about 100 pages left. It's getting a bit silly, I'm not gonna lie. So, after the whole spin the bottle fiasco, there's more like awkward yawning, right? And then we get back to what I like to call the plot, where our main character, Proserpina, is cataloguing books in the library. Her job is at the library at Thorn Chapel. She's cataloguing books. I don't really know. But then she finds this book, and there's this old weird ritual called Imbolc, something. And they're all like, oh, let's do it, it'll be fun. Like, let's all Imbolc, whatever, this old ritual. And then she does some more reading, and then she finds out that, of course, this Imbolc thing involves this weird sex ritual where the lord of the house has to, like, deflower his bride. And when she brings this up to the rest of them, and it's like, this is what it means, but like, wink wink, nudge nudge, we don't have to do it like that. And then everyone's like, well, maybe we should. And it's a bit stupid, right? But you know, I was complaining about how the writing wasn't like fancy and grand enough to kind of make me believe in this atmosphere of, you know, the library and the big gardens and the old fancy manor and all of this stuff. It's kind of getting better. There's this one character, Beckett, who is a Catholic priest, because he's here for some reason. And he's really arguing in favor of this weird sex ritual. And it almost makes sense, but then you think about it for more than 2 seconds and it doesn't. Here is Beckett's rousing speech when he's trying to convince them all they should do this. It's my opinion as a Catholic priest that we're talking about this in the wrong fashion, Beckett says. These kinds of things aren't meant to be dissected in the bright light of day. Rituals are supposed to be acted out and performed, and the explanation for why they're done is always going to feel flimsy when it's held up without context and without the actions that imbue them with meaning. The doing of them is the explanation, it is the understanding. They are built to reach inside us and expose the things that words can't excavate, the longings and the joys that reason and logic can't puzzle out. If we want to consider doing this with any degree of fairness, then we'll have to set aside logic for the present moment. We'll have to listen to the parts of ourselves that we're not used to listening to, the little slivers in our hearts that we've trained ourselves to ignore, those tender soul splinters that ache when we hear the wind sighing a certain way, or when we see the stars glitter over the sea. Those slivers haven't forgotten how to hope that there's something more to this world that we can see or touch. We can sit around this table all night and find 1,000 reasons why it would be silly or prohibitively difficult to perform a ceremony we have no personal connection to. Or we can decide that we're willing to approach it the way it's meant to be approached, not cynically, not ironically, but with fascination and respect. It's the same I would ask of any non-Catholic coming to Mass. This is different than Mass, St. Sebastian says. Why, Beckett says. Saint swivels his head to look at Beckett. You mean aside from the ritualized sex? So I appreciate that there's an effort in making this a believable idea, right? And then it goes even further to the point where, you know, Proserpina, she's looking more into the history of Thorn Chapel, and then she finds out that this one woman who was the lady of the house, and she was married to the man of the house, the guest, like Odin's ancestor, has the same name as Proserpina's mother. So basically, one of Proserpina's ancestors married one of Odin's ancestors, and that's why she has this draw to Thorn Chapel, right? It's in her blood, but her ancestor and Odin's ancestor, they both died, and all of their children died, and then it was Odin's ancestor's brother who carried on the family line, so that there's no incest. None. Makes it very, well, it doesn't say that there's no incest, but that's just a very weird point to draw attention to, and I think that's what it's trying to say. Yeah, and then there's been this weird scene that has made me want to stop reading, where her dad calls her Poe's dad calls her, and it's like the middle of the night for him, because he's in America, and he's very drunk, and he's like, don't go out to the woods, and this is like the night of the planned sex ritual cult thing, and she's like, oh, you know, he knows because when Proserpina and Odin and all of them were kids, their parents were all at Thorn Chapel doing this weird sex ritual, and that's probably like what happened to her mum, because Odin's dad was obsessed with her, and then maybe like that's why she went missing or ran away, and then on the phone she asks her dad if like her parents and Odin's dad were all kinky together. I'm suspending a lot of disbelief with this book, but that was too much. She just fully asks her dad, are you kinky? So it's getting a bit stupid, and I'd be lying if I said I wasn't losing my patience a little bit, but luckily I'm quite a fast reader, so it's not gonna, I'm not gonna be like, oh, I wasted so much time on this book. Like, I can get through it in the next day and it'll be fine. So I'm intrigued. You know what? I'm interested. It's getting really silly, and this whole book has now been building up to this, what I didn't know was going to be a weird group sex ritual, which is now a cool group sex ritual, and so, you know what? Go out with a bang, literally, and so I'll let you know how the finale is shaping up. I should have said no spoilers, but you know what? I don't care. Are you gonna read it? I don't know. I've not really done a good job of selling it, so maybe you won't read it. It's fine. Okay. I think this is now day 4 since I logged this. I think. I'm not sure. I didn't read any of it yesterday because, I don't know. I woke up, I did nothing, and then suddenly it was nighttime. And that's how a lot of my days seem to be going recently. But today I didn't read any either, but I'm quite determined to get it done with, over and done with, so that I can just move on, you know, like I know what's coming, literally, I know what's happening, and I'm not surprised, so all that's left to do really is just to finish it, and then I can fully talk about it and then move on to like things that are much more my style and my speed, that are on my TBR that I've neglected for years.
Don't get enough of me. Just don't get enough of me. Just don't get enough of me.
I'm sorry. Is there an unsexier sentence than, our bare feet are tangled in the same cold grass, and our breasts are mashed together? Like, mashed is not a sexy word. I'm confused.
Just don't get enough of me.
I'm done. finally done. I finished all 366 pages of A Lesson in Thorns, the porn book that I accidentally asked my dad for Christmas. I've hastily drawn up a little post-it of my thoughts, which are probably very disordered and will make no sense, so we'll see how it goes. Probably the main thing is, did I enjoy the book? And this is quite hard to answer, because I think I did in a strange way, and I think I enjoyed it more because I was documenting the process. I feel like maybe if I wasn't filming while I was reading, I wouldn't have been as compelled to read on. And I enjoyed like messaging my friends like little paragraphs that made me laugh or whatever. Like I enjoyed that process of it. But did I think it was an engaging narrative? And did I enjoy it in the traditional sense of the writing and the character and the plot? Probably not. I mean, for someone who hasn't read any erotica, I thought this was probably like a good book to start with. Not that I'm planning to read more, I don't know. But the sex scenes that were in the book were quite effective, and they were obviously things I hadn't really seen or read before, so they were interesting in that respect. But it wasn't overpowering. There was still a semblance of plot, and there were large sections of the book where nothing physical was happening. It was more about like the longing and the angst that was building up between the characters, and that was interesting. I think the kind of romantic or the physical scenes would have definitely been enhanced had, one, the writing been better. There were just certain sentences that just took me out of the story completely and made me laugh, which is not what you want, clearly. And two, it would be more effective if I had a lot more connection to the characters and the characters felt more fleshed out. For starters, there are way too many characters. There's the 6 of them that are tied up in this weird culty thing, but the 3 main characters are Poe, Auden and Saint, and the majority of the book focuses on the pull between them, and I feel like it would have been a much more compelling read if it had just focused on those characters. It kind of felt like the others were just there to fill up space and dress the set in a way. It just didn't feel like they were as real to me, or that they were as interesting, or had kind of earned their place in the novel as much as the main 3 did. But I know that there's sequels that focus on each of them, but let's be honest, can I be bothered to read those? Not really, so I kind of wish that they'd been fleshed out all in the same novel, that I didn't have to wait until subsequent novels to like connect with those characters. On the one hand, I wanted this compelling plot and this mystery, this big manor enveloped in secrets, and things hidden behind closed doors and people whispering and all of that atmospheric stuff. I wanted all of that, but at the same time I was so bored by all of the plot elements that I was just waiting for something to happen. So on the one hand I wanted more plot, but then I was bored by the plot I was given, and I just hated all the stuff to do with the parents and the missing mother. It just wasn't interesting, and it just honestly felt like a really flimsy setup for this group sex ritual. Like, if you want to have group sex in the forest, that's your prerogative, but don't come up with this thinly veiled excuse about it's this ritual that our parents did and it feels right somehow. It's not needed, So maybe a better plot would have been better, maybe. So yeah, all in all, there are definitely parts of the novel that were effective, and there were parts that I enjoyed, although probably for the wrong reasons. But yeah, I think it was an enjoyable reading experience. I think I would have enjoyed it a lot more, and it would have been a lot more engaging and effective as a story had, again, the plot elements been a lot stronger, had the characters been a lot stronger, and a tighter focus on certain characters would have been a lot better. But I don't really see it as a waste of time. I got this rambly long video out of it that I hope you're enjoying. But will I read the sequels? I don't see that happening, but you never know. You never know. Never say never. Anyway, it's currently 2:21, and I was about to say so I should sleep, but I'm not going to lie to you all. I'm not going to lie and pretend that I have a normal sleeping schedule. I will definitely be awake for another 2 or 3 hours. I've only been falling asleep at like 5 a.m. when the birds are singing and the light is coming up, so I hope you have a better sleeping schedule than me, and I will see you soon with another video. Bye.